Hello and welcome back once again to Movie Reviews. We just got out of seeing Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Definitely better than Transformers, Dawn of whatever. Dawn of Extinction, or whatever. Age of Extinction. What the fuck did I watch? I don't know. Yeah, if you liked the previous, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, this is obviously the continuation of that story. It gets more into the war between apes and humans, which, the first one was good in its own right. This one was good in its own right. But if you liked, depending on why you liked the first one, you may or may not like the second one, if that makes sense. Where the first one was more story-oriented, and, this is why this is happening, this is why this is happening, and there wasn't really much of a war to it. This one, the story kind of goes away. It uses an old generic plot. Basically, it continues with the plague that was shown at the end of the first one. Humanity's all but died out except for a small pocket of people who are genetically immune to whatever the disease was, so it's wiped out probably 2/3 of the population. The apes are still living in the woods. They got their own little tribe thing. The humans have basically been running off of nuclear power to light the cities. The nuclear power failed at one point, so they've been using up their gas reserves and fuel generators and stuff, and that's coming to an end. So they realized, hey, there's a hydro dam nearby, through the woods that used to generate power for us. Maybe we can get it going again, and we can get power that way. So they run into the apes, and of course you got the one jackass that shoots one. So then the apes, come into the city, basically make themselves known. They're like, we don't want a war with you, but this is your home, that's our home. You stay here, we'll stay there. And then they leave. So it's a show of force, like, we won't be fucked with. The one good scientist guy, he goes in on his own. He's like, I know you told us not to come back, but this is why we're here. We would like to use the dam. We won't bother you. We don't want to take your home away. We just want to get our way of life back. And so Caesar, being trusting of humans, says, okay, you can do it. But then you got the other ape that's, constantly been tortured by humans. He was the lab ape from the first one, the one with the scar on his eye. He basically doesn't trust the humans, and he wants to go to war with humans, but Caesar tells him no. But in the end, he kind of incites the war. He kind of takes power for a moment and goes to war with him, and then Caesar tries to fix it, but realizes he's not going to be able to fix it. So then it just kind of has this war between the apes and the humans, and both sides are obviously, humanistic. Caesar even says at one point that he used to think apes were better than humans, but now he sees how alike we all are. It only takes a matter of time and intelligence before we start warring with ourselves and other species, and they're starting to get the same way. So, I don't want to spoil too much of it because a lot goes on in the movie, but if you're looking for more of the war action-based movie, this would probably be the movie for you as opposed to its predecessor, although the predecessor is slightly important to understand how we got to where we are in this portion of the film. Couldn't really tell if it was setting up for a sequel or not. It kind of hinted that at the end, Caesar and the main guy whose name I can't remember now, they're like, there's more people coming, they've been told that you were attacking. He's like, you could stay here and I can try and explain it and make peace. And Caesar says, I know humans and they're not going to be as forgiving as we would hope they would be. Basically saying, even though you explain it, there's always going to be those renegades that say, no, go to war, kind of like his clan did. He says, you guys run, go hide somewhere before, everything blows up. I'm sorry it turned out this way, but this is the way it is. So they part peacefully, and Caesar kind of stands there just waiting for whatever to happen. So if they do a third one, it will probably be just like the all-out war, but it could be that at this point they're bridging between where this is going to leave off and where the original kind of happened, or, well, the original saga, anthology, whatever it was like 5 parts to that one, 5 films. So wherever that one kind of came up to, that's kind of where they're at now. Although those did go forward and backwards in time, so they could do that. Not counting the Marky Mark one, of course. Although that left a cliffhanger at the end, too, that wasn't really resolved because they never made a sequel to that one, so who knows. But yeah, so not going to give too much away on this one. I do recommend watching it if you like the Planet of the Apes films. As far as a star rating, it had its flaws, you know, like I said, obvious lazy storyline of, you know, we need your help, don't trust them, and then the one who doesn't want to trust them is the one that incites everything by turning on everybody. So I'm going to say it's not quite middle of the road because it was a decent film, so I'm going to say like 3.5. Not quite to a 4, but it's up there. So 3.5. So yeah. Now I'm going to go get some lunch, and I think Riff Tracks live coverage of Sharknado starts at 7:30, so I got like 2 hours before that starts. So I'm going to go get some lunch and then go see that, and then I'll be back to review that. And that's it. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Movie Reviews.